Hello students, in the continuing series Basics Explained, we look at the various topics that you're going to see on the SAT or the ACT, and we discuss the basics of those topics. Today we look at pronouns, an important topic in grammar, which you're likely to see on the ACT English or the SAT writing section. So when it comes to pronoun questions, there are a couple of things that you need to remember. The first thing has to do with pronoun agreement, which is to say that the pronoun should agree with the noun it is supposed to represent. This agreement can be in terms of number. That is to say, if the noun is singular, then the pronoun that replaces the noun should also be singular. This agreement can be in terms of gender, which means that if the noun is male, then the pronoun should also be male. If it's female, it should be female. If the noun is inanimate, the pronoun should also be inanimate. So things like that. So let's try and find the errors in these questions, and let's try and make the pronoun agree with the noun. When a person calls, take down their information. The problem here is that this pronoun there is supposed to refer to a person, and a person is singular. Let me change the color for this. A brighter color would work. Yeah, a person is singular, while there is a plural pronoun. And that would not make sense. So here I would have to change this there and say his or her. When a person calls, take down his or her information. Question 2, everyone here will need their own pencil. Again, everyone is an indefinite pronoun, words like everyone, someone, no one, and they are singular. So when I say everyone will need their own pencil, this plural there will not work, and I would have to say his or her own pencil. Number 3, some people believe that the benefits of a healthy diet outweigh that of regular exercise. Now here, I'm comparing the benefits of a healthy diet with the benefits of regular exercise. So this pronoun has to replace benefits, which is plural. And so I can't use the singular that. I'll have to replace this with those, the plural pronoun. Some people believe that the benefits of a healthy diet outweigh those of regular exercise. Number 4, if one is hungry, he may eat. The thing about one is that one continues to take one in the rest of the sentence. We cannot change the pronoun to he or she. So if one is hungry, one may eat. So one normally is used to represent to oneself, right? So it's like saying, if I'm hungry, I'll eat. But if you're using one, you stick with one in the rest of the sentence. Number 5, Ria left all her class notes at school because she decided that she could do her homework without it. Now this pronoun needs to agree with class notes. Because what did Ria think she could do without? She thought she could do without the class notes, and so she left them at school. But class notes is plural, and so I cannot use the singular it. I will have to use them. She realized or she felt she could do her homework without them. So that's what we mean by pronoun agreement. The pronoun should agree with the noun in terms of the gender and in terms of number. Let's look at slightly more advanced problems for pronoun agreement. While the definition of Generation X is hotly debated concerning the age ranges of its members, culturalists generally agree that they describe a group of adults that are self-focused, cynical, and skeptical. So my noun here is Generation X. The definition of Generation X is hotly debated concerning the age ranges of its members. because I'm referring to generation X. Culturalists generally agree that they. I have now suddenly, in the middle of the sentence, shifted to the plural they, even though my subject is the singular generation X, right? And that can't be correct. So I would need to correct this from they to it. And since I'm correcting the pronoun to it, I would also have to correct the verb to describes, because now it would need to be a singular verb. And you can see that the first half of the sentence used the correct pronoun its, but the second half did not. And so now it's fine. Culturalists generally agree that it describes, generation X describes, a group of adults that are self-focused, cynical, and skeptical. Number 7, with the release of their 5th album, Hotel California, the band explored the pursuit of the American dream when accompanied by the loss of innocence and the presence of temptations. Here, my subject is the band, which is a singular subject. And so I cannot use the plural pronoun there. That is not correct. I would have to change this to the singular pronoun its, with the release of its 5th album. Whose 5th album? The band's 5th album, the band being singular. With the release of its 5th album, Hotel California, the band explored the pursuit of the American dream. Now, if you're not sure whether to choose ITS or IT apostrophe S here, that is something we'll discuss in one of the future slides subsequently. So let's move on. Okay, the other kind of error refers to pronoun ambiguity, which means that the pronoun is correct in terms of number or gender, but it is not clear which noun it refers to. The noun is not clear. So for example, if I say, I'll position the target and when I nod my head, shoot at it. Now, most of us understand that this it refers to the target, but it could also refer to the head because there are 2 subjects or 2 nouns in the sentence, and it is not clear what the pronoun refers to. And if the person who is receiving these instructions does not clearly understand, he might end up shooting the person, the speaker in the head, resulting in a tragedy. So when you have an ambiguity like this, when it's not clear which noun the pronoun refers to, you should repeat the noun rather than use a pronoun. So you will say, I'll position the target, and when I nod my head, shoot at the target. It is better to repeat the noun in case of an ambiguity. Okay, the team's poor sportsmanship made all of them look like whiners. The team's poor sportsmanship made all of them look like whiners. This is kind of hanging here because even though I know that it refers to the members of the team, the problem is that I spoke about the team's poor sportsmanship, which was a singular, while all of them is a plural. So there is some mismatch between the noun and the pronoun. So how do we correct this? We can say the team's poor sportsmanship made all of its members look like whiners. So rather than say all of them look like whiners, where them is not very clear because it's a plural pronoun referring to a singular noun team, I should convert them to its members, because now it's very clear that its is the team, its members look like whiners. Okay, let's look at the third one. After interviewing several nurses, I realized that it was not the career for me. Again, I don't know whether it refers to interviewing or nursing, right? It's possible that the person was trying to be a journalist and he interviewed a group of nurses and he decided it was not the career for him. Or it's possible that he wanted to be a nurse or she wanted to be a nurse, and after interviewing nurses, they decided it was not for them. So I would have to specify whether we are saying interviewing is not the career for me, or journalism, depending on the context, or do I mean nursing is not the career for me? That would have to be specified. It is ambiguous. Okay, let's go to the third kind of pronoun error, which refers to pronoun case. What do I mean by pronoun case? You would see that every pronoun represents two kinds. One is the pronoun that is used with the active voice, and the other is the pronoun used with the passive voice. For example, I and me. I met him, he met me, right? So one is the subject pronoun and the other is the object pronoun. He, him. She, her. They, them. We, us. And so on, right? So all of these pronouns have two cases. And then there is a third case, which is for possessive, right? I, my, or mine. My book, this book is mine. His and his, her and hers, their and theirs, our and ours, right? So we have these cases, and the use of these cases depends on what I'm trying to say in a sentence, right? For example, when I say he runs faster than, it is very common to say me here. He runs faster than me, but that's actually not correct. He runs faster than I, because basically I'm saying he runs faster than I do, right? So when you have a comparison here, you would use the active pronoun, the subject pronoun. Similarly, he's older than I, not me. He's older than I am. So if you complete the sentence after the pronoun, if you add the verb, it's very clear that it would have to be the active pronoun. Okay, this is a good one. The cat licked its tail. This is a very common question on SAT writing and ACT English. And the difference between this is that ITS is the possessive pronoun. So that will be my answer for this one. The cat licked its tail, the cat's tail. While IT apostrophe S is the abbreviation for it is. Like, it's a sunny day today. It is a sunny day today, right? So I know that when we think of possessives, we think of the apostrophe, right? But possessive pronouns do not use an apostrophe. Like if you look at hers, theirs, ours, its, none of these possessive pronouns use an apostrophe. So here the answer is ITS without the apostrophe. Now, this is to be kept between you and me, right? When we have a preposition like between, then we use the object or the passive pronoun after the preposition. You and me. This is to be kept between you and me, right? I'll give you another example. This gift is for him. This gift is for her, right? So for being a preposition, I'm using the passive pronoun for him, for her. Okay, let Raju and something that we have to choose enter the room. Who is the subject here and which is the object here? The subject is not written, it's you, right? When I say let Raju, and whatever, enter the room. I'm addressing somebody, so that you is invisible. That's the subject. And Raju and whatever is the object. And for object, I would use the passive pronoun. Let Raju and me enter the room. Right? So every verb has an actor, the one who does the action, and a receiver, the one who receives the action. If the actor has to be used, we use the active pronoun. If the receiver has to be used, we use the passive pronoun. Let Raju and me enter the room, because it is you who's doing the action, who's letting us enter the room. Number 6, doctor, my child and I would like to visit you tomorrow. Why my child and I? Because now my child and I are doing the action. We are doing the action of visiting. And you are the recipient of the action. You are being visited. So here the answer would be the active pronoun. My child and I would like to visit you tomorrow. Okay, let's see some more examples. Janice and me went on a picnic together. This is clearly wrong. Janice and I went on a picnic together, because this is active. They are the actors who are doing the action. The picnic was attended by Janice and me, because now the sentence is in passive voice. In passive voice, I would use the passive pronoun. The picnic was attended by Janice and me. Okay, number 3 and number 4 test the difference between who and whom. And this is a very common question, and one that students tend to get confused by. A very simple rule for this: answer the question in your mind. Who are you going to marry? And see if the answer has he or him. If it is him, use whom. If it is he, use who. Who are you going to marry? I'm going to marry him. So I would have to say, whom are you going to marry? Who are you going to take to the movies? I'm going to take him to the movies. So whom are you going to take to the movies? Let me give an example of who. Who is coming to dinner? Who is coming to dinner? He is coming to dinner. He is coming to dinner. He replaces who, so this is fine. So this is the quick handy trick to remember. Answer the question in your mind. If the answer uses him, take whom. If the answer uses he, take who. Number 5, I don't understand why me and Bob always have to take out the garbage. Now here, Bob and me, or Bob and I, are doing an action. So we have to use the active pronoun I. The other problem is that I and Bob is not the correct order. We should write Bob and I, right? Whenever you have a noun and the personal pronoun comes in the end, where Bob and I have to take out the garbage, right? So those are the 3 kinds of pronoun errors you can see on SAT writing and ACT English: pronoun case, pronoun ambiguity, and pronoun agreement. Hope this little exercise was helpful in getting you to understand what these errors are and how you can correct them. Let me know if you found it helpful, and if there are other such videos that you'd like me to upload. Please hit like and subscribe to the channel, share it with friends, and help the channel grow. I'll see you all in a new video soon. Take care. Bye-bye.